My name is Bridget Mugambe, and I work with the Alliance for Food Sovereignty in Africa as a programs coordinator. AFSA's Climate Change Working Group is mainly focused on running a campaign currently in about 11 African countries, and the campaign is targeting the introduction of agroecology into climate policies. So we are working with our governments, with other stakeholders to ensure that we provide the necessary evidence, materials to inform the integration of agroecology into national policies like the national adaptation plans and the revision of the nationally determined contributions, which is going on in many African countries. Of course, the group is also doing a lot of other work that involves movement building, building national platforms, other work that is around awareness creating, undertaking research, policy research, working with the media, which also involves training the media on what agroecology is and how to report agroecology. So those are some of the activities that we're involved in as a working group. Yeah, I'm heading to Baku. COP29 in Baku is being more popularly dubbed as a finance COP, because we expect that we'll have a decision on the collective quantified goal. So of course for AFSA, our main agenda is agroecology. And one of the limitations that agroecology has is around financing. So we are looking at, of course, we are looking at what will come out for the collective goal, but also opportunities for financing agroecology. Because even if it's integrated within the policies, if it doesn't have the necessary finance, then governments will not implement it. So that is one of the things we are looking towards. Of course, we are also, we have made a submission as AFSA on the indicators for the global goal on adaptation. So we will be following up closely on the discussions there, the outcomes from the experts meetings that will be happening, sometime in October. So we will be following up on some of those processes, but also working with other like-minded partners and institutions to meet with our African governments and share the agroecology agenda, see how we strengthen, the African voice at the UNFCCC level. Yeah, from our governments, first of all, before we actually even get to the international space, to the COP29, of course, as you know, climate implementation is done at the national level. So from our governments, we are urging them to commit to integration of agroecology in climate decisions. We have a process that is moving up to March 2025, where they will be making submissions on agriculture topics. So we urge them to integrate agroecology as one of the topics. We urge them to work closely with civil society, because we are all stakeholders, in this climate crisis we are all being impacted on. And of course, at the international space, we have the funding partners from the Global North. One, it is the obligation to contribute financing for climate adaptation and mitigation to developing countries. So we expect to get more commitments towards finance for sustainable adaptation, approaches. And of course, very key to that is agroecology. So we expect to have the voice of Africans at the forefront, because they are the most impacted. We expect to see the voices of the marginalized, the small-scale farmers, the pastoralists, the fisher folk, the indigenous peoples, the young people, the women, coming out at the forefront, being given the spaces, to share their views and so that we are able to attain something from the ultimate decisions from the COP. Yeah.